Hi, this is Carl from Lingua Genesis, and this is part 2 of the discussion on how to use a particular mathematical algorithm or equation to work out the day of the week on which any date from 1752, the onset of the Gregorian calendar, to infinity actually falls, provided that no changes will be made to the current Gregorian calendar. Now, I mentioned in part 1 that when we take any date and we want to try to work out the day of the week on which it fell, then we first have to have what is known as a doomsday for the century. Actually, the doomsday, as mentioned in part 1, goes from, for example, 1900 to 1999, as opposed to the official century years, which for the 20th century actually go from 1901 to the end of the year 2000. But the doomsday for the century applies to dates between 1900 and 1999. For the 20th century, that key day of the week is actually a Wednesday. Now, as explained, the doomsday for the century is a Wednesday. So the doomsday for 1900, the first year of what we're using as the century for this doomsday algorithm, is also a Wednesday. And then I mentioned that there are certain dates throughout the calendar that we can use as reference points in order to ascertain on which dates Wednesday also fell. So the doomsday for 1900 to 1999 is Wednesday. The doomsday for the first year in question, 1900, is also Wednesday. The 4th of the 4th fell on a Wednesday in 1900, as did the 6th of the 6th, the 8th of the 8th, the 10th of the 10th, and the 12th of the 12th. Now, in addition to those, so we have the even-numbered months of the year together with the same digit for the day as you have for the order of those particular months. So, April being the 4th month, the 4th day of the 4th month fell on Doomsday, as did the 6th day of the 6th month, the 8th day of the 8th month, and so forth. Other key dates in addition to those are the 9th of the 5th, the 9th of May. So the 0905 was a Wednesday in 1900. If you switch the numbers round, you'll have the 5th of the 9th. The 5th of September in 1900 also fell on a Wednesday. The 7th of the 11th, the 7th of November, also fell on a Wednesday in 1900. Swap the days or the numbers of the day and the month round. The 11th of the 7th, the 11th of July, also fell on a Wednesday. Another doomsday, in other words, another date in 1900 which fell on a Wednesday in 1900 is the 3rd of the 1st, the 3rd of January. Also, you can then use other reference points, the 10th of January, the 17th of January, the 24th of January, and the 31st of January. But obviously, remembering the 4th of the 4th, the 8th of the 8th, the 6th of the 6th, and then the 7th of the 11th, the 11th of the 7th, the 5th of the 9th, and the 9th of the 5th, does make it easier to remember those particular dates. Now let's take the year, and then we'll use a date in that particular year, and as I did in part 1, we'll work out the day of the week on which it fell. Let's take 1974. So, remembering that the doomsday for 1900 to 1999 was a Wednesday, 1974, take the last two digits, which are obviously 7 and 4, 74. Ask yourself how many times 12 goes into 74. It goes 6, remainder 2. 12 sixes being 72, remainder 2 to get to 74. 6, remainder 2. How many times can we divide 2 by 4? Well, we can't, so we discount any remainder because there is none. So we have the numbers 6 and 2. totaling 8. We count 8 days from the key doomsday, Wednesday. That takes us to Thursday. So the doomsday for Thursday, the doomsday for 1974 was a Thursday. Now let's take the 18th of November 1974. The 18th of November. We know that the 7th of the 11th in 1974 fell on doomsday for that year. That was Thursday. The 7th of November was Thursday. And the 18th of November, 11 days after, means that the 18th of November 1974 fell 11 days after Thursday, which takes us to the following Monday. So the 18th of November 1974 was a Monday. What I'll do in part 3 is to discuss other centuries and the days of the week in which particular dates in the 19th century and in the current century took place or fell, and as I say, I'll continue the discussion there.